Hey student, watch this video if you want to learn how to make negative phrases in English correctly. Stop using not incorrectly. Coming up. Hey friends, Teacher Prix here to help you talk to anyone, anywhere, anytime in English. Thank you so much for joining me on another lesson. If it's your first time here, consider subscribing. From Monday to Friday, I post lessons to help you become a better English speaker. Today I'm going to focus on a grammar lesson. I'm going to be talking about a common mistake English students make when they are making negative phrases in English. So if you like this kind of lesson, make sure to hit the like button because that way I know this is a kind of lesson that you enjoy and that you want to learn more about. Okay? Excellent. So moving on to the lesson because today I'm a little late and I have another class. So let's get down to business, my friends. Very nice. Do you use not all the time? If your answer is yes, my friend, don't worry. Many English learners do that. When they are making negative phrases in English, they use the word not or they use the word no very frequently. And this is a common mistake basic English learners make. But then, because they don't have enough correction, they don't improve this, they don't correct this. And consequently, when they reach an intermediate or a better level, they continue making this mistake. So this is what I want to talk to you guys in this lesson, okay? When we are making negative phrases in English, when we're making negative sentences, we usually use an auxiliary verb, okay? This is a word that we need to use when we are making negative phrases in English. Now, we use the word not, but it's not alone. That's the point, okay? You will need the word not, but not alone. You will need the auxiliary verb plus the word not, all right? Now, in this lesson, I'm going to show you present, past, and future, and verb to be, present and in the past. And I'll be giving you some examples, okay? Very nice. So moving on, let's focus on negative phrases in the present, okay? If you are enjoying this lesson, make sure to hit the like button, okay? Excellent. Excellent. Now, if you are making sentences in the present, the word you need to make negative phrases is don't. Okay? What is don't? Don't is the negative auxiliary verb of do plus not. So it's the contraction form, it's the abbreviation of do not. So you use the word not, but not alone. Do not. So you can say do not or you say don't. Don't is more common in conversations and depending on the writing. If it's formal writing, then no. Now, you will use don't with the pronouns I, you, we, they, and any object or thing in the plural. So, for example, I don't work here. I don't have time. My friends, plural, friends, my friends don't speak English. My neighbors, plural, not one, more than one. My neighbors don't like pasta. These schools don't offer English. Well, the schools in my country, many schools, not one, the schools in my country don't offer English classes. So that's when I use don't. Now, as I'm saying here, I showed you specific pronouns. And why is that? When I am making negative phrases in the present, I will have don't, but I will also have doesn't, okay? It's the same idea. It's negative and it's in the present. Doesn't is the abbreviation, the contraction of does plus not, okay? And what is the difference between don't and doesn't. You will use doesn't in the singular for the pronouns he, she, it, okay? And any object or thing in the singular. So let's say I'm gonna talk about one neighbor. My neighbor, it's only one, all right? So in this case, I cannot say don't, I will say doesn't. My neighbor doesn't like pasta. My school, only one school, okay? The school in my neighborhood doesn't offer English classes. I'm talking about one school. It's singular. In this case, it's another object. It's not I, okay? It's not you. It's a third person in the singular form. So in this case, I use doesn't. And he, she, it, or any object or any word that represents it, a place, a thing, an object, all right? Our manager, our manager doesn't like to have meetings on Mondays. The system, a thing, the system, singular, only one, the system doesn't allow you to change the code. So you cannot change the codes in the system. Andrew doesn't work here. If you are watching this lesson live, post some examples now in the present, negative examples, okay? And if you are enjoying, make sure to hit the like button because that helps teacher Prix. Moving on. Now, you also need to make negative phrases with verb to be. Verb to be is a special verb, okay? In another video, I can talk more about verb to be. Today, the focus is to help you make negative phrases, all right? So with verb to be, you will use the conjugation of to be, am is are in the present, plus the word not, okay? I am not a doctor. My sister is not vegetarian. My friend is not a soccer player. They are not students. So you will conjugate verb to be. You will use the conjugation of verb to be in the present, and then you will add the word not. Most of the time, the native speakers will contract this. They will not say, she is not. They will say, isn't. They are not gonna say, you are not. They are gonna say, aren't, okay? With I am, then you can say, I'm not. But there's no possible contraction. Only with the am, you can contract I'm plus the word not. I'm not a doctor. She's not a dentist, or she isn't a dentist, okay? So here you saw negative phrases in the present with don't and doesn't, and now with verb to be, because to be is very specific, okay? Moving on. Now we can focus on negative phrases in the past, because remember, I told you in the beginning of this lesson, to make negative phrases in English, you need auxiliary verbs. And these words, these auxiliary verbs, they will represent the tense, the time of your sentence. So if your tense is in the present, you will use don't and doesn't. If your tense is in the past, you will use didn't. Didn't is the contraction, the abbreviation of did plus not, okay? Did not, didn't, all right? Teacher Prix, which word do native speakers use more? Didn't. They abbreviate, they contract, okay? But Teacher Prix, what if I want to say did not? Is it okay? Yeah, it's fine. No worries, okay? Now, just a quick observation. I have many videos here on my channel about simple past. So this is not an explanation about simple past. This is just a correction of a very popular mistake, okay? If you want more lessons about simple past, you can let me know in the comments, and you can also check my channel. There are many videos where I show and talk about simple past. But just one quick observation. When we are making negative phrases in the past, our verb has no conjugation. The verb is back to infinitive form, no changes, okay? You just say the verb in the BAIXE form, all right? So here, I didn't work yesterday. My parents didn't or did not come to visit me last week. My friends didn't call me. The students didn't do their homework. So this is how you will make a negative phrase in the simple past. Teacher Prix, how about verb to be? Haha, again, to be is special. The simple past form of verb to be is was or were. And with few exceptions, verb to be is a verb that in the past, in negative, you will continue using was and were in a negative phrase. You will just include the word not. Was not, were not, okay? You will use was with the pronouns I, he, she, and it, and any object or thing in the singular. The door was open, okay? The clock was black. Terrible example. Imagination, good job. So any object or thing you can use, you have to use was. The conjugation were will be used for the pronouns you, we, and they, and you again in the plural, and any object or thing, situation in the plural, okay? The schools in my country were not good in the 80s. Now they are better, but in the 80s, the schools were not so good, all right? Now, the negative form of is was not, or the contracted form wasn't. The negative form of were is were not, or the contracted form weren't, okay? Now, we have another verb that is important, which is the verb can. In the present, can, in the negative is cannot, okay? Can is a modal verb, and with modal verbs, you also add the word not. The modal verbs, they are a bit similar with verb to be. They are independent. They don't need do, did, does. No, you use the modal verb and that's it. Now, in the simple past, can is could. Okay? If you need to make a negative sentence with could, you will say could plus the word not. Could not. Or if you contract, you are going to say couldn't. All right? So couldn't or could not. Make sure to hit the like button because that helps the channel grow. So here are some examples. I didn't have this ability. I could not dance very well when I was young. My parents couldn't, it was impossible. They couldn't visit me last week. They couldn't visit me last week. And finally, negative phrases with future simple will. Now, before I talk about this, there are different kinds of future in English. Future simple with will is one possibility. We have more future tenses in English. I'm just showing you one, okay? The negative form of the future will is, will not. So you need will and you need not. And together you can contract and say won't. Okay, repeat, won't. Awesome. So you can say I will not, or you can say I won't. So for example, I will not work next week. Or if you contract, I won't work next week. She won't pass the test, or she will not pass the test. It's your choice, my friend. So this is a specific kind of future, okay? It's a simple future. If you, depending on the conversation, you will use different kinds of future. It's fine because there are future tenses to talk about plans, decisions, optimism, pessimism. There are many predictions. There are many kinds of future, not many, but there are different kinds of future in English. But this is a basic one that many English learners confuse when they are making negative phrases. Okay? Excellent. What is your homework for today? First, I want you to share this video with your friends. When you share this video, you share the love and you help this channel grow. And not just that, you are helping other people like you, English learner, who's trying to improve your English. You help people like you find this lesson and improve their English as well, okay? Now, this is the first homework. The second homework is to write 3 negative sentences in the comments, not in the chat. If you're watching live, no. Come back to the comments, okay? And then you will write 3 negative phrases in English, negative sentences, okay? And if you have any questions about this lesson, let me know in the comments, because then I can create more lessons about negative phrases or about English grammar. You are the boss. Thank you so much, my friends, and I will see you tomorrow for another English lesson. Bye-bye.